Antony, Arian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, Tippmann.
Yes.
A lot has changed since I last did a review on them. It was 5 years ago.
Yep.
Shall we go through the generations up to the exclusive custom one, or would you like to start with the custom and go down the line?
No, to be fair, we can go up through and I can sort of show you the progression on what they've changed from and to.
That's a great idea, let's do that.
So, Tippmann are a very reactive company anyway.
Yeah.
They've, along their whole production line from 001 effectively, and up to where they are now, they're constantly looking at things, what they can change and improve.
Okay.
They're a very progressive company. And they're very minded on making the best hits. They're not worried about other things. Denny Tippmann is very geared into making one of the best rifles on the market for its class, basically. So the original rifle started out, they only did one model originally, which was just the M4 drop-out fore-end, but very much like an M4 classic rifle.
Yeah.
With a bit of influence from us, we started getting them to make different models, like the Elite S, which would have been what you reviewed, which effectively is this one. Now, what colour was the bolt you reviewed?
It was black.
So,
yeah, it was black.
That was the original one. The first upgrade they did was they changed two things.
Yeah.
They changed to a nickel-coated bolt.
Okay.
Just for reduced wear. And they changed the grip on these to make them a slightly better grip.
It looks very MOE styly, isn't it?
Magpul style grip. Whereas they were very A2 standard grip
Yes,
before.
they were.
So that was a small upgrade really, but internally and everything else, they were identical.
Okay.
Then they started throwing things like on the Elites, the M-Lock forends, which is kind of like a bit of a UK thing. But then the Americans started liking it and buying it.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, the Classic now, they've now stopped doing the Classic altogether because these sell better.
Yeah.
So you've got the Elite S, which is the short rifle with the 9-inch forend, and then they do an L version, which is the longer version.
Yeah.
16-inch and a barrel and a 12-inch forend.
Okay.
Now they've gone on to a fluted version as well, just to keep the weight down on the longer barrels. So you can have kind of best of both worlds, weight-wise.
Do you know what the weight difference is with the fluted barrel?
So not in exact grams and what have you, but the fluted 16 is actually lighter than the 12.5-inch barrel.
Oh, okay. So you can have the weight of the 12.5-inch with the accuracy of the 16.
So a lot of people who are straight arming were finding that obviously they're trying to hold a barrel that's not there.
Yeah.
Whereas if you buy the 16 fluted, you've got that length of barrel, but you've still got the speed and the pointability of a short rifle.
That is
so
very good.
It basically fills the gap. It's what they were missing.
Yeah.
In terms of the latest version now, which effectively is the Gen 3, you could call it.
Yeah.
We've not done anything official. They've not done anything official because it's progression.
Yeah.
But basically, they've simplified some of the internals and they've changed some of the lower.
Okay.
So, what you used to have on the Gen 2s effectively was this bolt guide used to be a removable piece, and it was put in with a screw through the top.
Okay.
That now is part of the upper.
Oh, so it doesn't move. It
There's
doesn't
no,
interfere.
It was just basically the guide was fewer components at the end of the day.
From what I remember, the Gen 1, the bolt carrier had a spring in it, didn't it? It was two parts, was it not?
Well, this?
Yeah.
No.
Well, okay, maybe I'm remembering it
Always
wrong.
just been a one captive because they're a buffer tube.
Oh, I see. Yes. No, you're right.
So you've got the buffer tube. It's not like the Smith & Wesson or anything else, or the CMMG conversion. It's not a spring system in here. It's a proper working AR buffer tube, obviously light and load for a smaller bolt carrier.
I see.
And then basically it just simplifies that. You've got a guide in there, and the extractor piece on the side guides it in. The other thing they've changed for this one is the internal diameters and measurements in here. So they were never quite mil-spec. So for instance, Tippmann had to make an ambidextrous safety lever.
I see.
Because they were slightly thinner than normal ARs.
Yeah.
And drop-in triggers, some worked, some didn't. The Elfman trigger we've always sold because we knew they worked, and drop in.
Okay.
The latest Gen 1 though, they've changed the internal measurements, so now any drop-in trigger.
So you can drop in a Geisley trigger set.
Anything like that will just drop in properly, and also the AR, the safety levers now fit. So you can just buy a standard off-the-shelf AR lever.
So you can have just
So
any
there's
AR
nothing special. It all just drops in, throws in, which gives you the true, customization that an AR platform should give you. Really.
Okay.
So now they've gone to that Gen, which is basically 18,000 serial number and above. Okay. Is now effectively the Gen 3.
I see.
So when they've gone on from there, this is when they've started to get true customization. Because they can do this, they've started to work with other companies.
Okay.
Which then brings us on to the red line.
Your exclusive model at the moment.
So this one was launched by Tippmann probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Now, obviously, we had to put our name to them. Now, these sold out in the States very quickly.
Like hotcakes.
Because they've worked with a company called Tandem Cross that do the custom bits. They've done the muzzle brakes.
Yeah.
They do a lot of trick bits, a bit like kind of like a Volquartz and company in the States.
Yeah.
Not as known in the UK because no one imports their stuff.
Yeah.
But they've worked with Tippmann from early on, actually, and I've been waiting for 2 years really for this model, and it's nice to finally see it in the flesh. So they've put it together, some nice trick bits, obviously the very bright colouring on the reds to really make it stand out, and Tippmann have got their own branded red dot sights to make this a complete package as it is.
So I'm seeing it's solar powered, or is it?
Yes, it's very similar to the Spark solar that Vortex do.
Yeah.
So it's a solar powered single straight red dot, which kind of goes in keeping with these AR platforms.
Okay.
Obviously co-witnesses with their flick up sights they do. So obviously you shouldn't lose power because it's solar, but I don't know, maybe it's dark. You've still got the open sights as well to co-witness on there.
Maybe you only do nighttime shooting, for example.
Exactly. So it's a nice, finished product that they've launched. This is the first of many.
Okay.
They'll start doing, this was a limited run. I'm not actually sure how many they actually did of these, but we've only imported 10.
Okay.
And they're already sold out, so there will only ever be 10 in the UK. But I'm sure now they've launched this first one, they'll start looking, and they listen to people. They're a very reactive company with things like that.
Yeah.
So they'll listen to say, oh, can you do this, can you do this? And they'll work, and they'll launch some new models.
So we'll probably see more limited runs with different variations.
Definitely. I'm sure they'll probably carry on working with Tandem Cross, because this was such a success. But I'm sure we'll see different setups, different colours, and everything else with these as well.
So what I'm seeing here is another fluted barrel. So does that mean that is also lighter than your Elite S?
Yes, so this is the ultimate combination for lighter, because you've got the fluted barrel, and then you've got the Pro forend, which is composite, and only 9-inch.
Yeah.
So in terms of weight-wise forward, this is the lightest setup a Tippmann can be.
Okay.
Obviously got their custom Tandem Cross grip on there, which is quite a vertical grip on there.
Yeah.
And then just the other red bits and pieces. So.
That's awesome. And the red and black is pretty much Tandem's.
Yes, they're
forecourt.
And also it's in keeping with the Tippmann colours as well.
True, you're right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem
at
all.
It's nice to see that Tippmann is actually very reactive. And in the past 5 years, a lot has actually changed.
A lot's changed, even though it doesn't look like it, because if you put this next to one of the originals,
probably wouldn't
almost,
as much.
Well, not the red line, but these models. But it's, to see what they're doing, and every single time is proper progression. And it's good to see that from a company, especially a US company, listening to us as well.
Yes, we're actually
only
a
very
small
piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Hope the show carries on as it has been. It's been busy all weekend.
It's been brilliant. Really good show. Really good show.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming and chatting to us.